cheers from Texas. Jeff, how are you?
Cheers, big ears, from beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina, where we have air conditioning during the day and heat at night in the very same day.
Where the women are beautiful and the men are strong.
That's right.
So welcome, everybody.
Is that the Garrison Keillor thing? You know that?
Yes.
Lake Wobegon.
Lake Wobegon. Yes. Cheers to you.
Thank you, my dear friend. How are you?
I'm doing very good. So, Stefan wants.
I got to sip very judiciously tonight. We're doing back-to-back podcasts, and Scott already expressed concern that I'm going to show up drunk to ask the inspectors.
And look at me. I mean, I'm just coughing. I got wine coming out the nose. So, this is episode 7 of The Whiners, and we are here on Rumble. I think we're on X. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook. We are actually playing on the dark side of the moon. There's a special stream for that one. It's carried on satellite. Anyhow, I have a very fun little story here I wanted to show you. First of all, this wine here, it's called the Butterfly Effect. Do you know what the Butterfly Effect is?
No, that's some kind of a saying in life that they named the wine after. The wine after?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. Somebody out there is going to remember what the butterfly effect is, but something like if they flap their wings on the other side of the earth, then you feel the wind on this side. Something like it. Small changes. Anyway, this is a wine from Victoria Wines of Australia. Now, here's the cool thing, though. One of our supporters, a friend of ours, sent me this wonderful voucher for Naked Wines. Now, I did think it was something different, but basically I got about 12 bottles of wine for just a little bit over that 100. And so this is the first one I opened today, and it was very nice.
And what a nice gift, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, see, there we go. Somebody said right there, Butterfly Effect is becoming famous. So anyway, what are you drinking?
Well, this is my first repeat. Every other episode, it was a different wine each time, but I was so busy, I didn't have time to really go out and get anything new. So there it is. You may remember it from before.
I remember $6.99.
Yeah, I like it. I drink it a lot, so I didn't have to worry about, getting anything. It was here, so.
All right.
For tonight.
That's good. So now here, let's see. There was an Iron Man event out where you are.
That's right. I was telling you I was going to go. I was trying to lure you into participating. You were a little bit unsure.
It was the next day, right?
Oh, I know. I didn't think. For the future, I wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a possibility.
Yeah. So I went, and I found a woman who I think is very, very inspiring, and I want to her name is Emma Alitz, and I should have, there it is, here she is. There she is. She's the first place woman.
Whoa.
A little over 4 hours, I believe. There she is. Now look at her. You see other runners, they collapse when you get there. She's just, looking real cheerful. She keeps going.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And she's so cute.
That's wait. You said under 4 hours?
No, I think a little over 4 hours.
Okay, but just for clarity, that's 4 hours for a total of 70.3 miles.
That's right.
So that's a big deal.
I don't know what the record is or anything, but that's a way faster than I could do it in a car. So I'm impressed. And there she is. Look how cute she is.
And that you took that picture?
I did that as a Citizen Jeff photograph. Am I an award-winning photographer or what?
Absolutely. She looks thrilled.
Actually, I took that from a video I shot because I elbowed my way up to her, and I was able to corral her over for a brief chat. So here it is.
Oh.
Can I get a quick word with you?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you the Iron Woman? Yeah, I guess so, maybe.
They should change that name. Hey, listen, quick question. I know a guy who's very muscular, yet he's strangely effeminate, and he's wondering if he would fit into this race. Any words of inspiration for him?
Of course. Enjoy it. It's so much fun. Highly recommend.
His name is Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Yes, do it, Ryan. You're going to rock it.
All right, congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow.
Am I looking after you or not?
Wow. That was some positive peer pressure there for sure.
Yeah.
From the winner.
Yeah. It's a really pleasant situation. The whole thing is really nice. Now watch, she'll come next year and it'll be pouring rain or something. But
Yeah. I've done some of these races where it starts off, you feel like you're warm, and then by the end you're freezing cold, and they have to rush out with these special aluminum blankets to put around you to prevent hypothermia. And then, of course, you're all chafed and scarred up, so they've got ambulances there on the side waiting to help you out.
Oh yeah, they had all that, but not my gal Emma didn't need that. She could have run another race right afterwards.
She looked pretty good for 70, yeah.
So there are people who think that I'm joking when I say that you're very muscular yet strangely effeminate. I don't get it. The very opinionated Sarah Allard.
I know her. Yeah.
If there's an opinion that exists in the world about anything, she has it. You may have noticed. She and some other anonymous person scolded me, saying to cut it out with the lame joke about you being effeminate. And I corrected him. He didn't get the wording right. It's very muscular yet strangely effeminate. Get it right.
Right.
And then Sarah, the comedy connoisseur, weighs in and explains to me why it's not funny and what kind of jokes are funny, not funny. She's like the professor of humor. So I don't know. I don't even know why they think it's a joke.
Well, I laughed, and so there you have it. There you have it. So,
all right. Well, there's nothing wrong with laughter.
Definitely not.
Led Zeppelin once said, "Does anybody remember laughter?" You don't know what I'm talking about. You're too young.
Yeah, I am too young, but I just had a birthday. Remember? Can we celebrate my birthday again for a second?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I just had a birthday again.
Just because you're young doesn't mean you don't know old rock and roll, right? I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I know that George Washington was our first president, even though I wasn't born then.
Yeah,
that may not be a good analogy. But.
No, that is actually very nice, and I will now take up the challenge from, what was her name again?
If you're going to show a comment, keep it for more than a half a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did that. I
didn't do that.
There you go. We have a special Hassan there. I just want everybody to know he is a dealer in honey.
Oh.
He's a honey dealer. I learned something about honey from him and some others.
He's also sweeter than Tupelo honey, just like Honey Baby from the Bee.
So now, we're 15, what is it? Is it 15 days exactly from election day? It's something like that.
Very close.
It's very close. Now, I did already vote, but it is the case that, President Trump is probably not going to become president, but it's okay. He actually did do some hands-on work recently, and apparently he did that.
What do you mean he's not going to become president?
Well, I don't know. He was working a different job. It was a job.
Oh, you think he's going to change professions because of his experience?
Look, this new experience, this new profession, this is the way to go. Let's just take a look at this, because I think that this has really enraged Kamala Harris and a lot of those that are rooting for her.
Hello, everybody. So, my first day at McDonald's. I'm looking for a job.
Hello, President Trump.
See?
I'm Derek
See?
Giacomantoni. I'm the owner.
Oh, wow, that's a good owner. Must be a wealthy guy, huh? Thank you very much. Well, I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's,
See?
but I never did.
This is in there. She has an apron for you.
Oh,
And good job on your first day,
I think I should take off.
President Trump.
Should I take off my jacket?
Yeah, he's a little
The
nervous.
press wants to see this.
You can see that.
How are you? He's a wealthy guy. He owns a lot of McDonald's. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, you got it.
Well, Trump got the job, and here he
Okay,
is.
now
handing out orders
hold on
to
a second.
the
Hold on a second. Let me skip ahead here.
We're going to make it better than
So people were pretty excited. This
Some were
guy,
excited, some were enraged.
but this guy,
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
you see that?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're not ordinary.
You're not ordinary.
You're pre-screened, but you're not ordinary.
You are the type of person we want to be the
All
It's
the
a-
anti-Trumpers were saying,
And he
he
felt
wasn't
time to do this
really
other-
working there. Those
I
people-
know.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But they're going on like it was some kind of a revelation.
But he also he made
you
a point.
caught him. You caught him. We all thought he was really working.
Well, people, I mean, after this, that's when Kamala started calling him a fascist. He hobnobs with dictators like President Putin and Kim Jong-un, and now he works at McDonald's. Stole that thunder. Oh, speaking of,
Some of these were really good. So for those who don't know what this is all about, Kamala Harris claimed she worked at McDonald's when she was a youngster. And a lot of folks are saying, no, she didn't. And she hasn't proved it. So not the most important issue in the world, but it's a lot of fun. Side of
Yeah.
lies. That's a good one.
yeah, actually, yep. I think, George, you are right. We might get into that, hopefully.
Get rid of that comment. It's
Oh, I'm sorry. Kamala Harris is a liar. She never worked for us. Apparently, McDonald's did say that there is no record of her working at a McDonald's.
Right. And here's the thing. It's a lot of fun, but it turns out there actually is a way to confirm it. Kamala Harris can just simply put in a request to Social Security for her employment records. McDonald's would have reported it to Social Security, right? They're a
Yeah, of
legitimate
course.
operation. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But for some reason, she hasn't done that. Now, let's see. What conclusion should we reach based on her not doing that?
If Kamala Harris really did work at McDonald's, we would know by now because a manager would have come for it. Oh,
You don't want to say
Wow.
the rest of it out loud? That you don't work blue. You're not Red Fox. I keep making all these old references.
I know Red Fox. I saw reruns.
All right, very good. Now, do you know who Viva Fry is?
No.
Great podcast, actually. Viva Fry is a Canadian transplant. He's a lawyer, and he does a podcast sometimes by himself and sometimes with Robert Barnes, who is also great. And the two of them together are spectacular. Highly recommend it.
I'll put that on the list.
All right, we're going to have a guest, by the way, unless he gets arrested or lands in the hospital. And both of those things are actually quite possible because I'm referring to Jose Vega. And Jose Vega, I call him the world's most articulate heckler.
He is.
He calls himself an interventionist. Some of you, I'm sure, are already familiar with him, but for those of you who aren't, he's a candidate for United States Congress in New York, running against Jose Torres, the incumbent. And what
Richie
Jose
Torres.
Richie Torres, sorry about that.
Yeah.
And what Jose does is he shows up at events where famous scoundrels are speaking and he berates them. But his art is that he is able to say a lot before they manage to drag him out.
Yeah.
And it's rather intelligent that he says. He makes good points. And he goes on and on and on. And as they're dragging him out, he still keeps talking. And he's done this over and over again. And tonight, he's, well, I don't know if I should say this because...
Well, he might be giving Nancy Pelosi a hard time.
No, I know. But as I was saying this, I was just thinking somebody might hear this and notify the event to look out.
Oh, darn it. Yeah, the CIA. The CIA.
Hopefully Nancy Pelosi's security detail doesn't watch the whiners, at least not while she's doing an event. Anyway, so he was planning to do a Nancy Pelosi intervention. So we might have an exclusive premiere, or we might not have our guest at all because he's in prison or the hospital.
Well, if you get a collect call, we'll know.
Oh, yeah, right. Speaking of which, let me just keep checking my phone. No messages. No texts. Let's see. Any emails?
So nothing from him. Well, we're going to see him in a couple of days.
Hopefully. We may have to go visit him in the hospital. That might be where we would. I say that because at one of the events, security guards choked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not one. It's like 2 or 3 of those events. He's done a number of them.
Right.
So, well,
anyway, what else is on your mind this week?
What is on my mind is, and people are saying in the chat, no, they're pretty sure that Trump will get elected. I mean, we don't know. However, I definitely wanted to discuss some of the things that he has discussed. I think he's done. He is all over the map, but he's done some very good things.
There's a good chance he's going to get elected. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised either way. I will make this prediction. I'm not going to predict who's going to win. I will make this prediction, however.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If Trump wins, the anti-Trumpers are going to collectively demonstrate mass psychosis and violence like this country has never seen. If Harris wins, Trump supporters will be disappointed, but there will be no such reaction.
And also, Alex Jones was saying earlier today that the National Guard and various others are being put on alert. But I think that
I remember I can't believe that people don't remember this or acknowledge it. But the last election, where I lived in Long Beach, I'm sure it was the same elsewhere too, all the stores were boarded up. And it was boarded up because they were afraid there would be riots if Trump won. They weren't afraid that it would be the other way around.
Yeah.
And in fact, there were no riots. But then they made up that fake insurrection story. It's unbelievable the way.
Here's the thing. There is enough of a wild card element to Trump, especially now on the economy. So first of all, of course, Scott Ritter's been putting out this challenge that the candidates have to earn the vote by coming out against war, the nuclear war option. We've seen only really from the Trump campaign. By the way, Tulsi Gabbard lives in the town. She just moved to Leander near me. And yes, she did become a Republican. That's somebody in the chat. Yeah, she's a neighbor now, Jeff, just so that you know.
How far is Leander from you?
It's literally less than 5 miles to the city line.
And is she there already, or she's going to move?
No, she is a resident of Leander now.
She's
already. Officially.
Well, we should see if we can get together with her when we're there.
We should absolutely see if we can do something. Anyway, getting back to the point, Trump did something very interesting. I think it was October 15th, and I wanted to play a clip of it. He was at the economics. Let's see. Let me just play this. This is in Chicago. It was on economics, and listen very closely to what he says here, Jeff. This is going to be economics 101. Okay, it's a little bit of an education.
I don't know anything.
Hold on, people. This is good because there is right now the BRICS conference going on in Kazan. So it's good to see what could Trump maybe cooperate in a grouping like the BRICS. So check this out.
Bring companies back to our country. You look at even today, as I was driving over, I see these empty, old, beautiful like steel mills and factories that are empty and falling down. Some have been converted to senior citizens' homes, but that's not going to do the trick. And we're going to bring the companies back. We're going to lower taxes still further for companies that are going to make their product in the USA. We're going to protect those companies with strong tariffs, because I'm a believer in tariffs. I'm not sure that you are. I don't think you are, but I congratulate you on your career. But to me, the most beautiful word in the dictionary is tariff. And it's my favorite word. Yeah.
Peterson Institute, they say they only bring in $200 billion. That is that's barely the cost of 2 of your promises.
But tariffs are two things, if you look at it. Number one is for protection of the companies that we have here and the new companies that will move in, because we're going to have thousands of companies coming into this country. We're going to grow it like it's never grown before. And we're going to protect them when they come in, because we're not going to have somebody undercut them.
Anyway, so this is interesting because today or maybe yesterday, Trump came out and, of course, he makes lots of promises. You have to. It's part of the election process. But he said he wants to cancel the personal income tax and have the tariffs pay for that.
Well, it is a beautiful word. I have to agree with that. It's a gorgeous word. 2 splendid syllables filled with some of the most beautiful vowels and consonants I've ever seen in my life. In fact, I would cuddle with that word, given the
You would cuddle.
Yeah.
Well,
now, I think he said also, I don't know, you tell me as part of my economics 101 education, that by raising tariffs, that gives these corporations who are operating in other countries the incentive to instead operate here in the U.S. And that's supposed to be the payoff. Do you concur with that?
Yes. So there is a misconception that this is going to hurt other countries, but think about it in a slightly different way. It's not exactly apples to apples, but the sanctions against Russia have actually enabled Russia to develop their internal economy, not just their war economy, but their entire physical productive capacity. And so last year, they were supposedly passing Germany, which was the 5th largest economy. And it wasn't just about GDP, by the way. The measures are a bit different. But this year, they're now surpassing Japan. So they're now the 4th largest economy. And we're talking a completely different measure than we typically are used to. Now, going back, you mentioned George Washington. The other guy that was a conspirator, rebel, troublemaker with him was Hamilton. And his idea was tariffs, like you said, to protect the home industry and then investment for infrastructure. So Trump, in my mind, he puts this out. That's very good. He even said in another interview, he said, back in the 1880s, 1890s, 50% tariffs on everything enabled us to build everything. And it's true. We use that money to build our entire economy. So on X this week, Elon Musk and many others were talking about how the U.S. public debt went up $473 billion just in the last 3 weeks. So that's like if I was just buying iPhones left and right. That would be a massive ballooning of the whole system. And so it's an unsustainable situation. But a lot of the people that come out to advise Donald Trump, they're basically saying things like, well, the problem is the government per se. That's all they say. It's the government. And it's because they're anti-Kamala Harris. But when you say something like what he said, then you have to kind of do something different. So let me ask you a question, sort of a quiz question. When is a dollar not a dollar?
When inflation changes the value.
It's still a dollar. Try again.
When it turns into a kumquat because a highly skilled magician is on the premises.
Yeah, or a rabbit. I was going to say a rabbit. So, here's a good example. German Chancellor Scholz, Berlin, 50% of the brothels are Ukrainian women. So he says they need 400,000 more migrant workers for their so-called next industrial revolution, he says. So a dollar, say, in legalized prostitution is not the same as a dollar like what's going to be spent down in Burkina Faso, where they are going to build their first nuclear power plant with the help of the Russians. It's not the same dollar that's being spent in both places. Does that make sense?
No. Do you mean it's literally different currency or different in value?
The value's different because the one is unproductive. It's just going to a prostitute to pay the, Klitschko, he's the mayor of Kiev. He apparently is the head of the entire sex traffic in Ukraine. So basically, he's getting rich. Whereas,
this is maybe where that saying you get more bang for your buck, you're literally talking about banging somebody for a dollar. Is that where the saying comes from?
Maybe. I'm not sure about that. Well, but
you're the teacher.
But that's an idiom. I don't know. But I do think that the idea of the production of steel or nuclear power, those kinds of things. So that is what Trump was talking about at that event.
All right. Now, I know you're a disciple of Lyndon LaRouche. So tell me, is this like the sort of belief that he espoused or that in general has been out there
Lincoln?
For years, or what?
Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy.
Oh, even predates LaRouche, you mean?
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's not an original belief.
No, I mean, it goes all the way back to Alexander Hamilton and what he wrote in the founding documents. So, but in my work, so this is kind of interesting now. In my work, because you have this whole, I'm in technology, and you've had a shift from the 1980s to now. And I just wanted to throw this up here, because remember when we talked to your friend Kevin Lynn?
Yeah, by the way, Jose is coming in on the phone now. Do you want to hold, or do you want to get him to just join us and talk about it?
Have him join us. He might be...
Okay. It takes a few seconds. I see the call coming in a few seconds before I can take it. Well, here we can play the Jeopardy theme while we're waiting. Okay, here he is. Jose Vega, the world's most articulate heckler. Does that nickname I gave you annoy you or please you?
Uh-oh. Where is he?
There we go. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Most articulate heckler. I think comedians are naturally articulate hecklers, so I don't think that fits me.
Right. Jose, it's Ryan. How you doing?
What? I'm sorry I have to call in. I just did something where I yelled at Nancy Pelosi with my friends. And I sent you some of the video, Jeff, via Twitter.
Oh, by Twitter. All right. Jeez,
you're
really keeping me on my toes. All right,
video by Twitter.
Oh, I apologize. I couldn't find the email you asked me to send stuff to.
All right. Hold on. All right, go on.
Hold on a second. So, Jose, can you hear me?
Is Ryan there too?
Yeah, he can't hear me.
Oh, you can't hear Ryan?
No.
I can't hear Ryan.
What the hell's going on?
What the heck?
Call in
NASA.
Oh, that sucks.
What happened here?
You know what? I think I can probably get in via StreamYard. Let me try something here.
All right, you have the link?
Hold on, we might actually have the real thing. Not this voice actor.
What the hell? Why isn't the phone working? Let me try to get the video while he's doing that. Anyway,
from X.
Get back to what you were saying.
Well, no, here he is. So okay, so here he comes. Hold on a second. You get the video. I'll worry about Jose.
All right.
Let's see here.
This is professional.
Jose, you there?
Yes, I'm here, and I would show you my camera, but I'm in a car right now, and I'm driving, so it's even more unprofessional for me to turn my camera on. But can you hear me okay?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, so Jose, Jeff is pulling up the video, and we do want to hear, but I do have a question for you. Jeff was just trolling me, but I was asking him because, so you probably heard, Jose, Donald Trump came out saying that he wants to have tariffs.
Uh-huh.
You've heard he's talking about protective tariffs?
I have heard about this, where it's going to be like getting rid of all of income tax and just funding the government through tariffs alone.
Well, he does say income tax, but what he did say at the Chicago Economic Forum was he said, like there's these factories, right? Auto factories, but all the big ones are in Mexico, and there's none here. So he said we want the tariffs to bring these industries back into the United States and also to protect them, he said.
Oh, quite interesting. Oh.
So I asked Jeff, I said, when is $1 not the same as $1?
Oh.
And,
Uh-huh.
So can you answer that question?
When is the dollar not the same?
When
as
is a dollar not the same as a dollar? And so I know somebody said, "Oh, that's a confusing framed question," but I wanted to keep it vague on purpose. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I think I go back to the old adage of I think money is stupid. That's something that was coined by Lyndon LaRouche. The idea that money is not supposed to be the end product of what we strive for. It's supposed to be a vehicle for what we use to build things and produce things. That's what money is for. And so a dollar stops becoming a dollar, I think, when you just have too much of it and it's being used for nothing but making more of it. Then it's like, well,
yeah.
We have the video.
Okay. Hold on one second.
Okay.
So
right,
okay.
You want to play that game some more? Or should we show the video?
No, let's cut to the video.
All
Show
right.
it.
Jose, do you need to set it up at all?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, this is just like a one shot. There were 4 angles. By the way, there may be a peanut gallery behind me. That I'm in a car full of people right now. So if you hear any giggles,
no, we don't hear anybody.
No. Okay. Good. Well, good to know. But if you do, that's what that is. But anyway, so we were. There was this thing happening at the 92nd Street Y, which is a big kind of event in. When is Orion not the same as Orion?
Go ahead.
We were at the 92nd Y. Nancy Pelosi is there promoting her book, The Art of Power, right? Which is, I think, is supposed to be a play on the art of the deal. And so it was myself and Kynan, my policy director, and a couple of other people who don't know if they want to be credited or not, so I won't name them until after I get the clearance. But we took like 4 different camera angles, and there were about 4 interruptions. And I'm only showing you the first one and like half of the second one. The first one is my friend Kynan. Now it's you're gonna see black screen for about 15 seconds or so. So maybe you want to fast forward to about 15 seconds. That's about when it starts. You'll see Kynan stand up, and then he gets yanked away, quite literally, and then I go, and then they like quit quite violently.
So wait, they were ready. They were ready for Kynan. Is that what you're saying?
They were ready for anybody who was, going to say anything.
All right, I fast forwarded 12 seconds. Should we play it?
Dale.
Yeah, do it.
You're saying one segment and then part of another. This is back to back. They're together.
Yeah, they're in the same video. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
That's the black.
No, this is good. This is
Nancy, I'm glad to hear that you disagreed with the Iraqi war, but you do not
Stepped on the lady, Sue.
Yeah, they hurt somebody in the audience.
Nancy Pelosi more interested in her drinks and the stock market than her own constituents in San Francisco. Isn't it kind of funny how poor the country is, but somehow we...
Yeah, that's when they like...
Oh, whoa.
Wait.
Go ahead. Sorry about that, sir.
No, they yanked the phone out of me. They locked me. They locked my phone. There is another video where I somehow do manage to press record again, but I wasn't able to upload that one in time. And then 2 other people who are sitting in another section of the auditorium also interrupted. So this is a very raw, unpolished intervention. You're kind of getting a look here behind the curtain. I have to splice in Kynan's
but this
audio.
That's all right. This is a world premiere, an exclusive. Thank you, Jose.
So wait, how long did the whole intervention last? Was that it, or did you say somebody else got up and was able to?
So from the point it cuts off, I actually kept going for another minute or so, and they tried to drag me out through my legs, and I just kept like falling to the ground, forcing myself down. And so they couldn't really do anything about it.
I wasn't kidding. Before you joined, Jose, I was saying, well, we may not have a guest. He could wind up either in jail or in the hospital. because this is rough. This is
They
rough.
they were quite rough, and some of the people who also intervened are petite, so they got roughed up too.
Well, maybe I owe you an apology because I actually told the audience what you were doing, and then as soon as I said it, I'm going, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe they'll send word to security that it's about to happen. But they were probably ready anyway, huh?
Well, to be honest, I walked in there and I forgot to zip up my jacket, and I have this shirt that says Israel bombs, North Carolina pays, no justice, no peace. So, but the fact that nobody raised the red flag about that, and the back of my shirt says, what does the back of my shirt say? It says like U.S. funds, United States taxes fund genocide. Yeah.
They don't have a dress code at the 92nd Street Y, do they?
They don't, but like there was a demonstration outside of people like doing a circle picket line thing saying like Nancy Pelosi supports genocide, which were they there after we left, by the way? They were still picketing. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm getting word here. They still
But your camera looked a little smudged. Did they do that?
No, that was probably me. That was probably me and my sweaty hands trying to clear the lens in the beginning, but we got more angles of it, so
All right, well, polish it up, and we look forward to the final version.
To the final cut?
So the other day on Ask the Inspector, our guest was Russell Dobular, and we're all going to be together this weekend. Let's talk about that in a minute. But I want to just play a brief clip, because I bet you know about this. Nancy Pelosi apparently does very well in the stock market due to insider trading. So let's just play this clip from Ask the Inspector, previous episode, Tuesday. No, that's not it. Hold on. Sorry.
That was her in the. Wasn't that her in her casket?
Exactly. Yeah, she's certainly not the only one who's guilty of it because of her position, her former position as Speaker of the House, and because of where her husband is, where she was able to make these investments, this insider knowledge very actionable through him. She just stands out as one of the most glaring examples. The amount she has profited from tricky bets, short selling, and all kinds of exotic financial instruments, never loses. There are services you can subscribe to that track her investments so you can buy what she buys, because it's as close as you can get to a no-lose proposition.
Can you give us the name of that service?
What's called Track Nancy Pelosi's Investment.com. I'm there.
I think it's Pelosi Stock Tracker or something.
Wow.
Do you know about that, Jose?
I do know about the Pelosi Stock Tracker, but if I was a man with no ethics or morals, I probably would follow it.
Well, I don't know. She's the one with no ethics. Why would it be so bad for the rest of us? We're not guilty of insider trading.
Or unless that's conspiracy.
So I went searching for it, and it turns out there are multiple websites that have this information, and there's even an app, the Pelosi Tracker. There it is.
Wow.
You know what? What if Nancy Pelosi is secretly like a woman of the people? Like she's hoping people will use her insider trading tips and make a boatload of money off of it.
Well, seriously, Ryan was saying he's giving me an economics 101 lesson. I really don't know anything. Is this really not completely foolproof, but a pretty reliable way to make money? Just buy what she buys?
You're asking me for stock advice? First thing I have to say is I'm not an expert and I'm not legally liable for whatever decisions people make.
And he only plays a doctor on TV.
I was asking Ryan. He's my self-appointed instructor.
Well,
he's just sitting there with a blank look on his face.
I mean, I wouldn't. Who knows? Maybe it'll be collusion or something like that. I mean, frankly, this is the kind of stuff these guys should go to jail for, because they're profiting off of that. Just like remember Enron, they ran all their scams, and then Cheney with Halliburton looting the country. And the rest of us,
Yeah, I say send Nancy Pelosi to jail, but send me to Hawaii as a result of making her investments.
Wow.
I mean, Jose, the first thing you said was that would be unethical for us to do it. Are you kidding or serious? You think it would be unethical if we just...
I think the stock market is evil, period. I think, the investing in it, especially now, I mean,
know, the stock market is so closely tied to speculation, which is a system that is known for pillaging and making countries poor and making the richer richer. I think participating in a system where some people get richer, you know, just because of numbers, and other people get poor because of it, I think is immoral, in my opinion.
Well,
yes, in your opinion,
Whatever
very,
people have to do to sit with their conscience at night to, you know, make themselves believe, you know. I mean, you know, that's not just like there's people with 401ks, and the 401ks are technically tied to stock market investments, right?
And you don't control it. You don't control it.
And you don't control it. Is that moral? Is that unethical? That's when I would let God take that question up. You know, that's not a question for Jose Vega.
Yeah. You know, I may not be that far away from you, except I just haven't thought about it in moral terms, but I just don't get interested in this stuff. I don't own any stocks or.
Well, some people get obsessed by it. It's like I mean, it is like a cult, but that's part of the problem.
All right. Well, let's talk about the events this weekend. 2 big events, the first of which is on Saturday. We can't say where it's at yet, but if you buy tickets, you will be notified where it is. That's because, I don't know why, I guess some kind of security precaution. And it's going to be a rally and a concert with an embarrassment of riches as far as the roster of speakers go. Tell us about it, Jose.
Yeah, so it's going to be myself, Diane Sayre, our mutual friend who we have a lot of respect for, Scott Ritter. It's going to be Jimmy Dore. It's going to be Due Dissidents, our friends Russell Dobular and Keith Weiss. It's going to be Garland Nixon. Ray McGovern will be joining virtually. Angela McCardle, I believe, is sending something in as well. Might be forgetting somebody. No, I think maybe there's. I might be forgetting someone.
Huge.
No,
that's a great
one. It's a big indoor rally lineup, and people can still get their tickets at VegaSayrePeaceFund.org.
Okay, and you and Diane Sayre is running for United States Senate. You two have teamed. I don't know. Is this something that has been done before, where 2 candidates cooperate like this, or is this an innovation?
Well, I don't know if this is something that has or has not been done before. What I can say is this: what I think is that I think what we are doing something that other people should be doing. You know, I think like there's nothing stopping Jill Stein from doing what we're doing, gathering all these people, a state legislator who might have a conscience from gathering this great panel of people together to do something great. There's nothing stopping anybody from doing this. And so we're saying, you know what, let's just do it. Like, we're not going to wait for other people to work together and get such a great lineup of people like Scott Ritter, Colonel Larry Wilkerson, and Dennis Fritz. Those are the people that I knew. I forgot somebody. You know.
Well, that's what happens when you have a lot of great speakers. So there's no jealousy between you and Diane, right? It's not you're not going to be like getting the calculator out. Well, 60% of the people were for me, and 40% were for you.
Well, they're in different areas, right?
Well, yeah, but
no, I'm talking about the funds.
Yeah.
Also, they're not there for us. We're there for them. We're there for the people.
But the price of admission goes to your joint campaign funds, right?
Everything is split 50-50. Doesn't matter who did what, where, or what.
All right. Well, that's full disclosure. People should know what's going on. And then the following day, this event that we just discussed is at a relatively large venue. And as I said, it's a combination concert and rally. The following day, a very different type of event, an intimate brunch at a restaurant called Tudor City Steakhouse, with not all of the same speakers, but many of the same ones, including our friend Jose and also Jimmy Dore, Scott Ritter, Judge Napolitano. And if you're watching us, you can see all the other speakers. If you're listening to us on Spotify, you can't see it. But I'll say it. I get sick of my own voice, but let me just say it. Randy Credico, Russell Dobular, Dennis Fritz, Danny Haifong, Garland Nixon, me, Diane Sayre, Jose Vega, and Larry Wilkerson.
Wow.
And a great brunch.
Yep.
Very good panel.
And I'll just be shaking everybody's hand as they come in. I'll be the greeter.
You will be there. Very good.
That's the official greeter.
That's yet another reason to come. And people can assess in person whether or not you're strangely effeminate. So
That's right. That's right.
Cast your vote.
Shake my hand, and then that's the measure.
And we're close to sold out, but not quite. You can get your tickets at scottritter.com. Speaking of Scott, we're going to do Ask the Inspector at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. It'll be a different link, so I know we have some of the same audience. Just want to let folks know. All right, Jose, since you're in a car, we won't keep you, but we've already interviewed you, I think, 2 or 3 times. We love you. You're a regular, and let's get you back on soon when you're at home in front of a computer or in your office, and we can talk some more.
Oh.
Exactly. I'll be happy to come back on whenever I'm not driving and I'm not trying to navigate the streets of the Bronx, all right?
All right, it was worth the gamble. It's always a little bit iffy on the internet when we do this, but it was the gamble paid off. We had ourselves an exclusive. Thanks a lot, Jose.
Thank you.
Hey, see you later, Jose. So, Jeff, what are you talking about at the luncheon on day 2? not now.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't saying anything except.
Let me pour myself some more wine and just ask random questions.
Well, there's 3 different topics. Before I answer that question, let's get the promo back on so we can see the 3 different topics. Where the hell did I put it?
Here, I got it. There.
All right. So the 3 topics are the threat of nuclear war, the assault on free speech, and saving democracy. I'm on the Saving Democracy panel because Scott asked me to be on that panel. I don't know what thought was behind it. But I have been thinking about it since then, and it's kind of a big, weighty topic when you think about it. Saving democracy.
Wait, what is democracy?
That's a good question.
I mean, everybody says democracy. You got to save democracy. We're, vote against Donald Trump, stop Russia. Everything has to be for. I don't know what democracy is yet.
I think of it not literally, but more broadly as what is the way to get a better society in connection with the electoral system. And a lot of people think, well, we got to get money out of politics. I'm not really on board. I'm not on that train, not because I think it's good that we have money dominating politics so much. I actually think it's terrible. I forget, people have actually figured this out statistically. I forgot what it is precisely, but some ridiculously high percentage of time is spent on the phone talking to donors every day. Like a third of their day, something ridiculous like that. Yeah. And this is just terrible. And of course, it should be based on the quality of the ideas of what's good for the people in general, not just people who have money, of course. But I'm not really on board with solving democracy in that way because I don't see a way to do it. I don't think that's the root of the problem. I think voters need to be more discerning. And one big thing that I don't hear people talk about very much, but I think it's a major factor, is that the population is brainwashed. And I would like, and I'm not saying this as though it's easy. Don't get me wrong at all. That's, we'll just cure brainwashing. I'm not saying it like it's easy, but I don't think there's any easy solution. But I think this would go at the root of the problem if, let's say in school, people were taught critical thinking and how brainwashing works and so forth. Because otherwise, I just don't see how anybody's going to make good decisions.
But wait a second. If we have Chat GPT and we just ask Chat GPT something, doesn't that solve that brainwashing question?
Oh, that maybe if that's the case, I won't even make the speech. I'll just come up with my phone and ask it.
And you'll hold it up to the microphone and have your phone.
I have to fill up 3 minutes on this. I think I just did, but I was babbling. But I'll try to hone it.
It's good.
No, but seriously, what do you think? You think I'm on to something? That brainwashing is a key?
Yeah, actually, I think
let's take Trump, for example, or take anti-Trumpers. They actually seem to believe he's like Hitler. Now, it's fine if you don't like Trump. I mean, the guy is hardly beyond assailing. He's not unassailable at all. There's a lot to criticize him, but come on, he's not like Hitler. And by the way, he was president for 4 years already. You might want to look at that as your as your peak at what this next presidency would be like, as opposed to whether or not he groped somebody 40 years ago or did whatever, you know?
Well, I know that the Frankfurt School was known for promoting this idea of repeated phrases to get people just to, basically get brainwashed, if you will, to just repeat something over and over and over again. So always, that whole phrase around democracy or, he's a fascist or something like that. Actually, fascism really had a lot more to do with an economic policy than somebody's personality. More totalitarian, maybe, it is the personality. But so I think that brainwashing, I think Bertrand Russell, he said, at some point in the future, the social scientists will get kids to believe that snow is black and up is down. And so, I mean, these guys definitely... they had experiments, right, for what you're saying. So I think it's a legitimate point.
Yeah. Now, of course, solving the problem, as I said, is very hard. And you know what? I have found that people who are brainwashed don't like it when you tell them they're brainwashed.
Yeah.
So I think you have to figure out a way around that problem.
So that was
by the way,
whole...
I'm not exempt. I mean, I think we all are susceptible. That's why advertising is such a big deal. Even though we consciously know that, if you buy these jeans or this car, you're not really going to get the hot girl or the hot guy. Even though we know that consciously, it works subconsciously. That's why people spend so much money on advertising. So we're all susceptible.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Except for me. I'm not. No, I'm just kidding. But I suppose some people are more susceptible than others.
Well, so you heard also former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries was just arrested on sex trafficking charges. Speaking of brainwashing, selling clothes with naked people.
Oh, yeah. Those ads. Those are really raunchy ads.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean,
I haven't seen them lately. I don't know if they still do.
No, they've gotten rid of all of them. They've had to sort of redo their whole image, and now he's getting, like I say, he just got arrested. So,
right. So, do you have any thoughts on how to save democracy?
Well, I do agree with some of the people. We are a democratic republic. We're definitely a republic, but we do have democratic features like what you're talking about in terms of the vote. I mean, maybe some of it is, I know in some countries they're like, okay, everybody only is allowed to spend this much money. You got to do what you got to do with that. I know that with RFK and the Maha campaign, what we've done is we've gone out there and we set up tables in neighborhoods and downtown areas, and we just talk to people. To me, that could be democracy, right?
Yeah,
because
I agree. That should be part of it too. In fact, that's why we call this U.S. tour of duty, and we're going to be touring.
Well, you and I think we might even have a chance to do that in New York City. What I'm talking about, go out there on the street and talk to people, and do some one-on-one. Because people are so jacked up, according to like what you said, these blinders of how you have to think. I like to talk to people and use the humor and get them to kind of laugh at the dynamic that everything is somewhat silly, and then say, okay, now let's actually think about something profound.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing about those memes. It's like, if that's your window into a serious discussion, then great. So I don't like when people get on their high horse and say, oh, that's too trivial. Well, guess what? This is what people pay attention to.
Yeah.
We can't just, insist that they all become intellectuals by us snapping our fingers.
Well, now, like, for example, I noticed in the chat, there were a bunch of comments because Jose said something about the stock market being evil and so forth. And, it's... Yeah, well, I mean, look, my retirement, is all whatever I have is some 401k. It's basically down the toilet, But to what Jose is saying, and to answer them, the stock market at one time, it used to be called the Dow Jones Industrial. I don't even know if we say that officially anymore, because it used to be industrial, right? Now it's not industries. It's just fictitious activity. And it's this money, and that's sort of what I was getting at. So, I was out visiting my mother recently, and she lives by a brand new Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing plant. It's some just massive facility. Now, the thing that's interesting, because I'm in technology, This plant has had some problems that they can't get American workers to work there. Well, it turns out in the 1990s, starting with Clinton, the laws were changed so that as part of the outsourcing and globalization, we said, okay, we're going to suck all of these smart people from poor countries, pay them less, have them in the factories, stop training American engineers, and basically bringing that slave labor, if you want to say, into the United States. So then these companies go through massive layoffs. You train your own replacements. I mean, this is really where it is. And then the one company that can take orders from the U.S. military is IBM. They quadruple the cost. All these others, they can't do it. So they are seeing huge profits for themselves and their stock value, but their employees are being thrown out. See, to me...
What about, aren't robots going to change the game completely?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they're bringing AI to the iPhone, and I've had this new iPhone for a week, and I already have to get it replaced because it broke, and it's all inside, So these things, they're making all this money somewhere. It's not going to these other countries, but we're not making it, the average Joe, right? So you don't remember, maybe when you were younger, Jeff, people would work at a company for 50, 60 years, right? No more. That's gone away in the 1990s and the 2000s. But see, that's what Russia, China, that's what they're talking about at the BRICS summit there, is exactly that kind of thing, where countries cooperate. Now, one little thing more, and we can. I know we kind of want to wrap up soon, but I have a friend who's also a friend of Jose's, who's at that conference. And this is my friend Jason, who is a science editor. He writes for the EIR Intelligence Journal. He was invited to go over there and sort of look at what's going on. And I just wanted to say that in light of some of the interesting things that Trump has said about tariffs, they're good, but they might not be quite enough to just, certainly 4 years, how much time does he really have? Mm-hmm. He doesn't have that much time. But if you want to restart the engines of industry, you're going to have to start reinvesting in the American people, in the United States, and then cooperating with these other countries. So I just wanted to show a little clip because I thought it was optimistic what he had to say as an American attending this conference. So let me show this here.
World is changing, but the Western elite are intent on promoting conflict. So the message from the BRICS conference, I think, is that a new way of looking at the world is necessary, and that it is in the self-interest of my country, the United States, and the West, as it's called, to be a part of this new system, to help contribute to it, to help shape it, and not oppose it in demanding that we stick to a world that is gone and over.
Yeah, so that's the thing that's interesting. Everything that Kamala Harris, Dick Cheney, these guys represent, this is kind of an old thing where we tell you what to do. That's actually, I think when she calls Trump a fascist, I think she's upset that he just doesn't follow the rules that are, somebody's got out there. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't follow the rules. He doesn't follow the Republican Party rules. And that's sort of like the rest of the world. They're not following the rules.
No, and today was the last day of BRICS, right?
Yeah, I think so. And in fact,
is it the sort of situation where the deals are announced right away, or it comes later?
I don't know. I was trying to see if I could talk to Jason. Actually, when I last spoke to him, he was just going into this meeting with President Putin. So I have no idea. But that's sort of, I don't know what the deals are going to be. But I do know we could be a part of that. We could be a part of those kinds of things. Trump breaking the rules, we could find ourselves cooperating with other countries. Why not?
Yeah, it's interesting times, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe we'll all be in Washington or in Austin or somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up because we have Ask the Inspector starting at 8:30 Eastern time on all our usual channels, but it'll be a different link. So thanks a lot, Ryan, and thanks to Jose
Yeah.
Vega. Oh, we never put Jose's website. Oh no, we did put it.
No, we did. Yeah,
You did.
I did. I was on the ball.
You were on the
This
ball.
young brain.
Let's do it one more time.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's promote the events real quickly one more time. That's the Saturday event at 2 p.m. Info at vegaserpeacefund.org. And that's the Sunday event. Info at scottritter.com. All right. Join us at 8:30. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
See you later.
And, take care, everybody.
Cheers.